Hey, I'm Sean from the Comics Pals here live at New York Comic Con 2019. This is actually day one, so as you can see, the man next to me, Dirk Manning, looks very peppy. He's loving life. I'm loving
Someday I'll
life.
be like, hey guys.
Exactly. That's why I'm trying to catch him before tired Dirk enters the picture. But I'm very excited to be here talking to you. As always, Mr. Dirk Manning, how is your con going?
So good to see you, man. It's
Yes,
great.
likewise.
It's Thursday and it's been bouncing. Like I don't know. You probably don't want to pan out, but it's insane, man. It's Thursday at New York Comic Con is like a Friday or Saturday anywhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it's nuts. It's crazy. But it's good. I love being here. It's an honor to be in New York. This is one of the biggest show in the country, and to be here and embrace the hate. Wait, see, I'm ready to get hold of it. There you go. So, yeah, it's good.
Awesome. Now, there's a lot of cosplay here, which is always awesome. But one of the things that I've seen online recently is cosplay for your newest book, Hope. Yes, you got to show it. Got to show it off. How cool is it for you to see people come up to you and wear the costume?
It's wild, man. And a lot of credit to that goes to Kaylin Smith too, the artist. We had we talked a lot about this book, and we knew specifically the type of costume we wanted to design, things like that. And Kaylin's an amazing artist, and she really rocked it. And to see that character resonate to the point now where, like you said, there's Hope cosplay is nuts. Because those of you who knew the show, we go way back. You can go through the archives and see all the talks we've had. But when you look at books like Tales of Mystery or Nightmare World, things like that, Love Stories to Die For, I've never really written cosplayable characters, and mainly because I don't normally do superhero books.
Right.
There's been limited cosplay of some characters I've done here and there, but by and large, it's just not usually my first go-to, I guess. Some people do. Some people design characters because they want that. So to see people dressing up as Hope and things like that, and there's been some amazing Hope cosplay, it's mind-blowing. Like the first time you see your character walk up to you, and it's like, what the hell's happening, right? It's wild. So it's humbling, I guess.
Yeah. So the book is absolutely phenomenal. I think the fourth issue is out now.
Fourth issue is out, yeah.
I checked it out. Fourth issue. I think it actually just came out this week.
Yeah, just came out Wednesday. Just dropped Wednesday.
I loved it. I thought it was incredible. And I want to talk about a particular moment that I really loved.
Did you cry?
I didn't quite cry, but it's a very emotional book. And the thing that I love about this particular moment that I'm going to reference is that it showcases a different side, not just of this character, but of what you generally expect to see of superheroes. So it's the moment in which Hope is essentially being told, you don't mind a spoiler, right?
Do you out there mind a spoiler? That's the question.
I don't think
gentle.
they mind.
Be gentle.
Basically, she's being told that the situation with her and her daughter is not going to go the way she wants, right?
Yeah, she's in a spot right now where I know this. Well, we won't go farther than that.
Right.
Yeah.
The reaction that she has in her mind, I thought was incredible. How she gets, she's obviously, I absolutely loved it because it's not what you expect at all. Most of the time when you get especially a woman superhero, they're very put together, they have the proper reaction and everything else, and in her mind you see, no, actually she wants to freak out about this. And I loved it because it added so much depth to her character.
And thank you. And, one of the things is that it's interesting when Kaylin Smith and I talk about Hope, we've sometimes had arguments about why she's doing what she's doing. And I don't think this is a spoiler at all, but, the question becomes, why doesn't she just register?
Right.
So many of her problems would theoretically go away if she registered, and she's like, I shouldn't have to, I don't want to. And they're like, but it's endangering your situation with your daughter. And right now she's really standing on this ground of principle. And she's getting more and more frustrated by this almost Kafka-esque situation where would this stuff be happening if she was a guy?
Right.
and we haven't come out and said that, but I think that's one of the underlying themes of the book. And yeah, in issue 4, you see a scene where she starts to really, I don't want to say snap, but things are starting to pile up. She's getting more and more frustrated. That's something you're going to see into issues 5 and 6 as well. And a lot of people, like I said, I just showed you, I got a message on social media before we started. Someone's like, they read issue 4 and they made them cry, It's getting very frustrating. And I know a lot of people, and real talk, I know a lot of women who've had very terrible situations with the justice system that I think would have been very different if they were guys. Bottom line. I mean, I can start to pull back the curtain on that now. That's one of the big things this book's about, is how women are treated in society. Now, spoiler, I'm not a woman. I'm not a mother either. But I have lots. I have lots of friends who are women. No, but I see. Yeah. And anyway, I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. But
we're having fun.
Yeah, we're having fun. But no, I mean, but I see how it happens, and I've seen sometimes when I've had to help support friends of mine who are women in different situations, how people will default to me, and all of a sudden, like, I'm the authority on it. Am I because I'm a guy? And how women lose their agency. And a big part of this book is addressing that very issue. Kaylin and I have had some very serious talks about the fact that people will say things like, oh, well, where's Kaylin? Or I'm like, ask her. I don't know. Look. I'm not her keeper. Yeah. But it's an interesting dynamic, and that's something that we're exploring a lot in Hope, and that obviously through a very extreme situation, but also one that is very real, even though we're talking about people who fly.
Right. And that's again something that I really love about it, is that it does address situations that do come up in life. Of course, with superhero dressing, but they're relatable. And the other thing that I wanted to mention was that it's a lot. I don't mean this the way that it might sound, but it's a lot smaller of a story so far, in the sense
very
that
focused.
Exactly. Okay, yeah, that's probably a better word. The wordsmith, Dirk Manning. It's a very focused book, and I love that because this is a character that's new. This isn't Spider-Man,
Right.
This is someone new who we need to learn who she is in her world.
Right, and we're focusing on her. Now, there's been a lot of hints about how big this world is.
Yeah.
The thing that happens in issue 2 with the final boss, the Drama King, the Nora Ona, all the stuff going on. But at the end of the day, it's been very important for me to keep a microscope on her and her story. We do some of the tricks about, like, the newscasters and the talk show hosts talking about things. But yeah, there's a big, big world out there. But right now, Hope's world is very small.
Yeah.
She wants to get custody of her daughter back, and then she wants to deal with, her husband, who's in a freaking coma right now, and there's this very big world out there that's keeping her in a very small box right now. So, I mean, and again, you play with superheroes, and it's tempting to go full tilt and all this stuff, and I mean, believe me, Kayla and I have talked about a list of rogue of evil or unregistered ultras or evil ultras or whatever. Yeah. A mile long. You can just make up superheroes or supervillains all day, but that's not the point. The point is what's going on with Hope, what's her story, and tell a very real personal story about a very bad situation that sadly way too many women can relate to.
I love the book. I think everyone out there should go pick it up. The coolest thing for me is that I don't get to see Dirk all the time, but this is a book, along with several others that we're about to talk about, that's actually in stores that you can go pick up right now.
Yeah.
So go check out your local comic book store and definitely pick it up. It's way worth your time. Highly recommended.
Thank you. Yeah, issue 4 is in stores now. Issue 5 and 6 will be out the next 2 months. And then, yeah, it's a new thing for me, too, I don't normally do a lot of monthly books.
Yeah.
I did with Haunted High-Ons and then with Hope. But doing the monthly grind has been a little bit of a different animal. I normally go straight to the graphic novel. So
right.
It's been interesting. It's been fun. It's fun to work with Source Point Press in that capacity.
So speaking of Source Point Press, your relationship with them has catapulted since the last time that we spoke. You guys got Haunted High-Ons into stores, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. Can you speak to sort of how that relationship has evolved and what it is that you enjoy so much about working with Source Point?
SourcePoint really focuses on not only creator-owned books, but they focus on the creators, which is what's really nice. You go to a SourcePoint booth, you go to SourcePoint booth here, 2243. Creators are running the booth.
Right.
We don't have marketing people. We don't, and that's to say we won't someday, and if we do, we're selling out. But rather, the focus on SourcePoint is creators and pushing creator-owned books. And, it's like, people are starting to recognize what we're doing. I've been on that grind life a long time. And now with SourcePoint, you see that amplified to a publisher level. You go to a SourcePoint booth, you'll have 2 or 3 creators there. And not only can the creators sell their books, they can sell all the books.
Yep.
And that's been something that's just really important to me. I respect that a lot. And people are noticing the quality of the books. We now put out 10 books a month in previews.
Wow.
That's right. And they're all good. And there's something for everybody. Now, obviously, we mainly stick to genre, so science fiction, horror, a little bit of fantasy here and there. But by and large, you can pick up, the other thing I really like about SourcePoint, you can pick up any SourcePoint Press book, and the quality is there. We have a strong commitment to quality, the creator-focused, creator-owned focused, and we grind. They do 50, 60 shows a year minimum. I think it's even more than that. I got to check, but yeah. So it's nice to find your tribe and be with a publisher that works the way you work, and I can help amplify what they're doing. They can help amplify what I'm doing, and as a result, things are good.
That's fantastic to hear, and I can definitely speak to what he's talking about regarding SourcePoint books. Every one of them that I've read has been good, so you might as well give them a shot. If nothing else, pick up a Dirk Manning SourcePoint book. Why not?
Yeah, Haunted High-Ons, Hope, Cthulhu Juniors for Halloween Comic Book Fest.
So you've got a lot going on, as always. And
yeah, I stay busy.
Speaking of that, the Haunted High-Ons Kickstarter is actually happening right now.
Yeah, it just launched 2 days ago, and we're close to $11,000 at this point already, which is pretty incredible.
By the end of this Comic-Con, you will probably be funded, right?
That's the goal. I want to walk out of New York Comic-Con with that book funded.
Congratulations.
And start unlocking stretch goals. That's the goal.
Yes.
So
that's fantastic for you and everybody else involved. And so what's the long-term goal with Haunted High-Ons? Is there a plan beyond the Kickstarter? What are you cooking up?
Well, we did reveal in the Kickstarter itself that there's going to be another volume of Haunted High-Ons or another book. So that's there. I love working with Twisted. I'm a dyed-in-the-wool metalhead. We talked before for our B-Reel about our love of metal.
Yes.
But Twisted's a great band. I like working with them. They're from Detroit as well, the Detroit area. And it's just a lot of fun to work with them. I've been singing the song for a year, and again, people caught on finally. Doing this book with Twisted, it's not a vanity book. It's not like they're using a comic book to put themselves over.
Right.
They're using themselves as characters because they're fun characters. And we get to tell this fun story about a rap band who's also fake ghost hunters, and they get called to real haunted houses and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's just so much fun to work with them. It's just a blast. We're looking forward to doing more. Love working with Mariana and Alessandro. They're some of my favorite people to work with. And yes, there will be more. That's what I can say right now is there will be more.
Okay. Speaking of more, you teased me a little bit before we even got started with this that there was going to be more Tales of Mystery.
Yes.
So you mentioned a potential Kickstarter. Is that something that you can?
Oh, it's happening.
Perfect.
Halloween, Devil's Night or Halloween, we're launching the Tales of Mystery Act 1 Omnibus.
Oh,
all 4
wow.
volumes, 1 big hardcover. And what's cool, a lot of people say, well, I have the 4 volumes already. What can why would I buy the big hardcover? One, the biggest reason, we're re-offering Volume 1 in the omnibus in full color by Anthony D. Lee.
That's unbelievable.
So Volume 1 is
so cool.
Volume 1 is black and white, in the gray toned in the graphic novel. To make it consistent, Anthony D. Lee is coloring the whole thing.
Wow.
So he will have colored all but 2 chapters of that omnibus. It's going to be 100 pages bigger than the Nightmare World omnibus for comparison.
That's wild.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And then next October, we'll be back on track with Tales of Mystery Volume 5, first volume of Act 2.
Well, Volume 4 was phenomenal, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I'm excited personally for the omnibus because I'm a big collector of those, and I think that if you want to get started with Tales of Mystery and you've never seen it before, there's a great starting point because it's everything in one shot, right?
Well, and that's it too. To collect it all in one big volume, to have Act 1 in one volume. I'm not going to say the name of the omnibus yet, but I have a working title for it. I'm not sure if it's. I'm not sure if that's going to be the title.
Okay.
But because I've done that before, I've advertised the name of a new book in the back of the book, and then by the time it comes out in a year, I change it. But there's very much an arc in those first 4 volumes, and the big arc is obviously Mr. Rhee and Ranibus. That situation gets itself resolved by the end of Act 1. And to read it all in one volume like that, so much of Seth the Moose art, Anthony D. Lee coloring almost everything, have Josh Ross's stuff colored, and then a year from now in October, start Act 2, which is, okay, where are things now? It's a brand new world starting in Act 2 for Mystery and a lot of the characters. Act 1, I say set the board. Think of Mystery as Tales of Mystery as a 3-act play.
Okay. We
set the board. Now we're going to start knocking the pieces down more than ever. So
that's extremely exciting. We're talking about October 2020, so a ways away, but
the Kickstarter for the omnibus is this Halloween.
Right. You can tide yourself over with that Kickstarter. Get everything Tales of Mystery. You will not regret it. Trust me on that. Speaking of something else that you won't regret, Right or Wrong is a Dirk Manning book that I swear by. I tell everybody about it. I think it's phenomenal. If you're looking to be a writer, really anywhere, but specifically for comics, it's a great book to pick up. Hi. Now, I
microphone. You can talk.
Yeah.
We'll do the only because we're very close.
Yes. I've read Right or Wrong cover to cover several times already. I'm hungry for more. And I've asked you 2 times in a row when we're going to get the Right or Wrong 2. Now, I need you to tell these people that are watching this right now when they can start to think about Right or Wrong 2. I need that information for the people.
May.
Here's
what's going on.
Oh, man.
Twisted Kickstarter right now runs till about Halloween. Halloween, we have the Kickstarter for the Tales of Mystery Omnibus. February, Kickstarter for the whole Cthulhu Jr. and Dastardly Dirk. Then May, Right or Wrong Volume 2. On record, my projected goal right now, May 2020, Right or Wrong Volume 2. Maybe I'll even release a second edition of Volume 1 at the same time. We'll see.
That is so exciting. I can't express enough how excited I personally am for this. And so many people that I know who have read the book, they want a second volume.
And let me be real. I'm so hungry to do Right or Wrong Volume 2. I'm so hungry to do that book. That book's going to be my pipe bomb, man. Volume 2 of Right or Wrong is going to be about, now that you've written the comic, you create a comic, what do you do with it? Right. How you talk to editors, how you talk to publishers, how you do conventions, what's convention etiquette. I'm very, very hungry. People have been waiting a very long time, but after running multiple Kickstarters and things like that, talk about Kickstarter, now it's time. Now it's time for that book. It's time to unleash the beast and say, okay, now that you got a comic in your hand, what do you do with it?
That's awesome. I'm really excited for that. So that's May.
This coming May. Yep. In the meantime, we got Rhee Omnibus, Twisted Haunted High-Ons graphic novel, Cthulhu Jr., Hope dropping in the meantime, Hope Volume 1, and then Right or Wrong 2. So then Rhee 5 after that.
Give some.
And then, no, I'm just
please.
No. That's plenty. Come on. How much more do you want of me?
Well, I always think of you as a Cthulhu monster yourself with 7,000 arms. So you can juggle all this, right?
I'm going to find out real quick.
So on Right or Wrong 2, I want you to give us just a little piece of something tantalizing, a little morsel.
So Right or Wrong 2, one tease. I think I'm most excited about talking to creators about working with editors and publishers. Con etiquette too. Con etiquette's gonna be a big part of it, but for my wrestling fans out there, I'll use this analogy. Right or Wrong Volume 2 is going to be the Dirk Manning pipe bomb.
Oh man, that's.
Don't get me wrong. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've always been very open about things that I, done that I would do differently looking back. But Right or wrong, two's the pipe bomb. Let's be really real. Let's start really talking about making the books. So
okay.
Pipe bomb.
Okay, that's very ominous, and that's. I mean, if there's a word that describes Dirk Manning, I think ominous is a good one.
I'll take it.
Now, before I let you go, I just have to ask you one wrestling question. I always have to.
Oh yeah.
Did you catch AEW Dynamite?
I absolutely did.
And what'd you think?
It was very strong. I thought it was interesting they didn't go full tilt in the first episode. I mean, WWE right now is going full blast.
Yes, they are.
They showed Lucha Brothers. They showed some of those other guys. But they're playing the long game. Very solid, very good. I'm extremely excited about what's next.
Likewise, a lot of you guys know that I'm a huge wrestling fan. If you like wrestling as well, definitely check out AEW. They're doing great stuff over there.
Yes.
I had to ask my man what he thinks about it, and he likes it too.
I'm all in.
Ever the wordsmith, Dirk Manning. So, unfortunately, that's all the time we have with Dirk. We always have a blast speaking to you, so thank you so much for making yourself available.
Appreciate everything, brother. Thank you. Thank all of you out there, and come find me on social media at Dirk Manning, dirkmanning.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. I'm all over the place. Look for this, and you'll find me.
He's actually somehow more scary than that in real life.
We can't all be pretty. So.
As for me, I'm Sean with the Comics Pals. We're going to be here all weekend covering all the news, all the biggest things that come out of New York Comic Con, and we're going to have a ton of interviews. We're going to have interviews with some of Dirk's co-workers, some of the people on these books that he's published. Yeah. So stay tuned for all that stuff. And, of course, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You know how to internet by now. I'm Sean with the Comics Pals. Take care, guys.